So, as you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, and we are doing yet another Coffee with Geeks. Today, we are doing a conversation with Bryan Slayman, product line manager over at EnGenius. They deal with voice over IP and networking equipment. So, we're going to talk to him today about what EnGenius does, what he does, and just general topics about technology. So, thanks for being here, Bryan.
Thanks a lot, Eli. We're happy to be here. So very excited for that.
Good, good. So the first question I always ask everybody, because everybody seems to have a weird ass title anymore that nobody understands, is so you are a product line manager. What does that, is that a normal title, and what does it mean?
Product line manager, really it's product management. I oversee a particular line of products for EnGenius Technologies. For EnGenius, I'm in charge of the managed line of products that we have at EnGenius, and I'm responsible for the launch of new products. I'm responsible for all the marketing that happens with the products. Obviously, I work with a team of marketeers and a couple other product managers, but my title is product line management because I am in charge of a particular line of products with EnGenius.
That's curious. So a lot of people are now, everybody I talk to is like a vice president now. Like when you say a manager, is that an executive level? Are you not vice president, or you guys just don't have vice presidents?
Not a vice president. We have general manager. I'm not a vice president. I manage a particular line of products. That's where that title comes from.
Okay, cool.
So then we're create the title.
Then create the title. That's cool. So then we start talking about EnGenius. Like, give us a history of EnGenius as a company. Like, where are you guys from, and what's the history there?
So EnGenius is located in Southern California. We're specifically in Orange County, California. It's called Costa Mesa, California. We actually have been here since 1999. So we've been here for about 18 years now. We're a subsidiary of a company called Sinao International. They're out of Taipei, Taiwan. So we're owned by them. They're a large manufacturer out of Taipei, Taiwan. But we're really known for Wi-Fi. That's kind of how we got started back in 1999. Wi-Fi, and there's a cordless phone that we manufacture that we're known for.
Okay, that's interesting. So did you start out as an independent company, or were you always part of Sinao?
We were always a part of Sinao. The brand EnGenius was created in 1999. Sinao actually started in 1979. So coming up on 40 years. They started in distribution, cell phone distribution in Taiwan. And got into manufacturing, basically our cordless phone that actually operates on 900 megahertz. So with that, we're known for the long range of that particular product. And then they created, when that cordless phone came out, that's when EnGenius was kind of created. Actually, Sinao International, it's kind of weird, but Sinao means big brain, or genius translated, or EnGenius, basically. So that's where the name EnGenius kind of came from Sinao.
Okay, that's cool. Do you guys get to fly over to Taipei very often, or you get to go over there? Or?
I don't get to go that often. I'm pretty much stationed here. I get to travel around the country here, but yeah, I don't get to go over there often. We have several people that do go over there, and they work with, obviously they work with our software engineers, our hardware engineers. But we do basically communicate with them on a daily basis, really.
Okay. So when you're thinking about like EnGenius, then, I mean, is this basically, does Sinao white box equipment, then EnGenius essentially slaps its brand on it, or are you actually engineering the equipment?
We are, our office has a lot of input in regards to how the product works, how the product looks, the hardware form factors. We basically provide the feedback from a US standpoint in regards to the product. So So we do provide a lot of feedback in regards to the different products. We, obviously we work with our end users, a lot of our customers and end users, specifically system integrators, and we get a lot of feedback. Oh, you should do this. You should apply this to your product, or you should add this feature, things like that. So we provide that feedback to our engineering teams, either it be on the hardware side or on the software side.
Okay. So, I mean, is EnGenius then basically a brand? Like I know, like one of the companies I deal with is a vendor called Azul, and so they really don't do any engineering. They just package the product and basically sell it under their brand name, do it the support services and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, is that basically what you guys are doing then?
Maybe similar, but I would say the difference is we're actually owned subsidiary of Sunel.
Okay.
And we do Sunel and or EnGenius. We do a lot of OEM, a lot of ODM kind of work. So we would produce other Wi-Fi access points, for example, or Wi-Fi routers, switches. So we do produce our OEM for a lot of major companies that are out there.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So could a managed service provider like buy like white box type equipment from you, like and get their name stamped on it?
Yeah, it comes down to the quantity, really.
Yeah, right.
Does it make sense to manufacture for this, for this particular managed service provider? But yeah, we do that a lot. We've worked with a number of not managed service providers, but ISPs. We've worked with a number of ISPs, and they eventually, they may use our hardware to it may be the Wi-Fi modem in your house, for example. So we worked with a lot of different companies and making a lot of different products for different industries, really.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But that's a big part of our business.
Okay, cool. So then what are the products then that basically the EnGenius sells? Like what are your product lines?
I actually brought some samples. Do you mind if I show them? Or
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we started with this little guy right here.
Okay.
It's called the Duraphone. It's a 900 megahertz phone. This is where we really started within the US. There's different versions of this. There's a SIP version. This is 900 megahertz. We have a dual version that works on 900 megahertz and UHF. But we're known for the distance of this particular product. So with this handset, you can actually travel outdoors. It's about 3,000 acres. That's true numbers. That's not. I'm not. That's not a white lie. 12 floors of penetration through walls, or floors and ceilings.
Wow.
About 250,000 square feet indoors. So if you can imagine 2 Home Depots, we can cover that area. And it's because it's working on 900 megahertz, really.
Yeah.
The radio is amplified too. So with the combination of the two, with the antenna that you see on the top there, we can get those types of ranges and coverage area. And then we took that same kind of ingredient and we applied that to the Wi-Fi networking world. And, your traditional access point, all of our access points, I would say we're the first company to have a high-powered radio and an access point, for example. Our access points range anywhere from, they started out at about 100 milliwatts, and now we're in the 800 milliwatt range on our access points. And we have a wide variety of different types of access points. I actually brought a couple to kind of show you. We have point-to-point products.
Okay.
You can actually shoot about 5 miles away in a point-to-point scenario.
Really?
So there's a lot of different things. Yeah. So the high-powered radios, they're high-powered, high receive sensitivity. So what that really translates to is more coverage area, more penetration through walls and ceilings and floors. So we applied that high-powered radio to kind of the networking world, I would say.
All right. Do you need any? I know with some stuff you need like FCC licenses or something with that kind of thing. Do you?
Yeah. No, we don't get them passed through FCC. No. Yeah. No, everything is approved. Yes.
No. Not for you. For like, at least back in the day with some of this equipment, the person actually that owned it had
installing
to
it.
be certified. No.
That's right. Yep.
Oh,
And it really
okay.
it depends on the scenario. So if you're doing a point-to-point or a building-to-building connection, you're using directional antenna. So there's different standards there versus you're using an omnidirectional antenna that's giving you 360-degree coverage. There's different standards there. So yeah, they do have to be, I believe, certified and when they're deploying the product, definitely. So
Okay. So do you know how you do, like if somebody was interested in buying those products, do you have the information on what they would need to be able to get certified?
yeah, so what you're really talking about is more with our products.
Yeah.
They're on the unlicensed band, so they
Oh,
can be
okay.
bought and installed by anybody. But in regards to licensed band, then that's where you would get your certifications. But so we don't typically run into that unless it's maybe a large backhaul, for example. We might get involved in that piece, but typically we don't run into that often.
Okay.
I don't know if that answers that question, but
Yeah, that's pretty good. Out of curiosity though, like how, if you say you've got a 5 mile range, line of sight, I'm just like, how the hell do you do, like, how do you do that?
quite honestly, it's very difficult. I know when we first started really working with point-to-point communication, a lot of the guys were using different methods. I don't know, to be quite honest. I'm not going to give you a BS kind of answer, but there's a number of different methods that they use. Nowadays, the product comes with some sort of LED indicator on the side. They combine that with software that they run that does a lot of that helps them in aligning the 2 points. Because you can imagine if you shift that endpoint just a little bit, there's no connection whatsoever. So it becomes very difficult. So.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So okay, so with those phones though, you were saying that they do SIP. So that must not be the handset itself. Is that basically the base station is what connects into your voice over IP?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So the handset is paired up with a base,
Yeah.
and that base has got the port in it to work as for a SIP version of that particular product.
Okay.
But that just actually launched. That's not my product line, but that just launched probably about a year ago, I would say by now.
All right. Do you know about what the price point for that thing is?
I believe the handsets run around $399, but I couldn't get into the base system plus the handsets around 1,500, somewhere around there.
Oh wow. Is that one set is 15 about 1,500?
That's a handset, a base, and there's some accessories that go with that particular that set of equipment, basically.
Yeah. All right, that's interesting. And then you also you do surveillance cameras?
We do. We
Yeah.
actually just launched a new product. I brought that too. It's called the AP Mesh Cam. It's new to the market. It's actually this is one of the surveillance cameras that we have. We have a couple other. We have Bullet, Dome. They're the only two form factors that we have right now. But the AP Mesh Cam is probably the newest. So that's going to be new to the market. So it's a 2 megapixel dome camera combined with a 11 AC access point.
Okay. So is there something special to that? I mean, oh my God, it seems like it seems like my grandma is building surveillance cameras anymore. Is there something that makes yours special?
This particular one, there's a lot of modes to this particular product that would probably help installers put surveillance in a couple different scenarios, but it also operates off a mesh. So you can actually mesh a couple of the AP, well, it's called AP Mesh Cam, right? So they'll actually mesh a couple devices. You can mesh up to 4 devices. Beyond 4, you get into like the throughput will come down. Your video will come down. The quality of the video and things like that will come down. but it's meant to overcome a lot of the wiring challenges, the cost to wiring, the inconvenience to the customer when they're installing surveillance cameras. So we imagine that going into it just launched really about 2 weeks ago. We imagine it going into maybe retail shops, small retail, lobbies, and the hospitality market, even restaurants and bars where you have to have surveillance, but you also can provide Wi-Fi to the patrons at the same time. The interesting fact is that there's not, I'm not aware of an IP camera that has 11 AC and it's dual band, so it can operate on 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz at the same time. So the installer can actually choose either 2.4 or choose 5 gigahertz depending on the application. So if they're trying to get really long distances in a non-congested Wi-Fi deployment, then they could probably use 2.4, for example. But if they're in a congested Wi-Fi kind of situation, they can use 5 gigahertz, for example. So it gives them a lot of choices.
So could they do multiple meshes on the same network? Like, could you mesh, like if you had like 4 floors, could one floor be its own mesh, and second floor be a mesh, third floor be a mesh?
Oh yeah, most definitely. As long as you would have basically one plugged into the LAN port or into the LAN network, the wired network. Yeah, you could do that. These are actually manageable too, so they can be managed by one of our controllers or by our software that we provide.
Okay, that's one thing I guess with your stuff. It seems like everybody, like Ubiquiti and Open Mesh, Meraki, they're all doing cloud-based management solutions, single pane, basically. Do you do that type of thing, or?
We do. So we have 2 kind of solutions for a managed line. All of our PoE switches and non-PoE switches, they actually have 2 interfaces. One is the controller interface. The other is the layer 2 switching interface. So that's our non-PoE and PoE switches. So they work as controllers, basically. There's no premium on the switch. So at the end of the day, the customer can buy the switch as a switch, but it has the controller on there. The other method is by a software called EasyMaster, which is a free download from our site. And that basically resides on the customer's or the managed service provider, for example, on their server, for example. So it could be remotely installed, or it could be remotely installed. So,
okay, yeah, or locally installed. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So could you then see, like, could you actually be able to see then your VoIP phones and your network equipment and your surveillance cameras all as like one network map?
Yeah, so the Duraphone product that we were talking about, that is not not a manageable device. It's individually, it's autonomous, basically. Autonomous in a way. It works with the base system that it comes with, and the other handsets. So that's not a managed line, I would say. The access points, the AP mesh cams, and the outdoor devices that we have are definitely manageable, and you could see those all within the same topology.
Yeah, okay, that's very cool. That's interesting. So then I was looking at like your routing equipment, and like you have, it's like an IoT intelligent gateway. What is that?
Yeah, that is our we currently have a gateway. It's more on the consumer line. I would say a majority of our products that we produce are more for the SMB. So that's one of our consumer routers that we launched some time ago. But yeah, that's a AC, obviously dual band router for the home user, really.
I mean, what makes it IoT intelligent rather than just being a wireless router?
So I believe, not my line, but I believe, disclaimer, right? Not my line. It has the capability to share files through an app that it comes with, and so you can actually share files from the router. It has a USB extension to it, so you can put a hard drive connected to it, and it has an app, so you can share actually music and videos and photos, basically.
Okay. Is there anything that specifically makes it like IoT? Because I know there's a lot of stuff now with IoT security. Do you know if there's anything that makes it special for IoT?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know personally myself.
That's cool. So then who does EnGenius focus on then? So is it enterprise? Is it small business? Is it consumer? Because you're saying that that's just a consumer thing.
Yeah, so more on the SMB side.
Okay.
We deal with a lot of small, medium-sized type businesses across many industries, but our main customer is system integrators.
Okay.
They actually take the product, they install the product into multiple applications. It could be Pro AV, for example. It could be into the hospitality market, either be in a restaurant or a hotel, in small businesses, doctor offices. We've worked with a large gamut of different types of customers within that space.
Yeah.
Even we've done Wi-Fi. We've worked with system integrators that work in marina Wi-Fi, for example. So they're installing Wi-Fi in the marinas out there, in RV parks, campgrounds, amusement parks, for example. So the product has been deployed in a lot of different cases. And a lot of weird instances where we've had customers come to us, and actually we've provided Wi-Fi to tractors for farmers to control their tractors wirelessly. So some very interesting cases. Even worked with the government in regards to their laptops and communicating to unmanned vehicles. So we've done a large gamut of different types of customers, but a majority of it is small, medium-sized business.
Interesting. So then what's your competitive advantage, or why? Like, I mean, there's ubiquity, there's open mesh. Again, everyone and their grandma's making a networking equipment now. So that's it. Like,
Everybody's in it.
yeah. So why would somebody come to EnGenius other than like ubiquity?
Yeah, I would say that a lot of people come to us for experience. We've been specifically in the RF technology side of things, we've been in it for a very long time. Like I said, around 40 years, but more in the Wi-Fi, the 2.45 gigahertz, 18 plus years. So they come to us for the experience. Our staff is pretty knowledgeable in regards to Wi-Fi in general. How the product works on specific lines and things. It depends on who they're working with. But our experience with manufacturing, we own our own manufacturing facilities. We're not outsourcing any of the manufacturing to another manufacturer, basically.
Yeah.
So that experience. We do have a line of field applications engineers. So we do have a lot of customers, end users that come to us, system integrators that come to us for that experience and help them deploy the product. We actually have a line of field applications engineers that support our system integrators and when they install the product, because at the end of the day, we want it to be successful. So I would say the main thing is the experience, the comprehensive line of hardware that we carry, anywhere from an indoor access point to a wall plate access point to point-to-point device, multi-point devices. So we have just a range of hardware that they can choose from and fit in different scenarios. We've actually helped a lot of customers, or a lot of customers that are in the enterprise space, but they find it very challenging to get into the SMB market, and we help them in those scenarios because of budget restraints and just the not having that comprehensive line of hardware to choose from. So we've helped out a lot of companies get into new business that way.
So when you say you help them out, that like what? Oh, I mean, what does that actually mean? Can I hire your field engineers for a week to come out to my facility? Like, because you say experience, but like what does that actually mean?
Well, the experience, I would say, basically in just in RF technology and in itself, right?
Yeah.
And the just the manufacturing and the just the experience with that manufacturing, and have that long history of being in the Wi-Fi market and understanding how it should be deployed, how it works in particular environments. And yes, we do actually, if the customer needs the type of support where a field application engineer needs to be flown out, we will do that. We have done that on some occasions. It doesn't happen too often. Typically, a lot of the things that we do is really predictive modeling. We help them with the layout of particular designs for, say it's a hotel situation and they want to install Wi-Fi into a hotel. We'll actually we'll get floor plans from the end user or the customer or the system integrator, and we'll actually help them understand where to actually deploy the hardware and the configuration that they should use within that particular environment. Get an understanding how many client devices are going to be within that application, and we basically put all that together and hand that over to the system integrator or the hotel owner, for example. So
that's pretty cool. Does that cost the integrator any additional money, or?
That does not cost a dime to them. All we ask is that they use our hardware. That's it.
Oh, thank you for the help. We'll put in Cisco now. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If somebody's interested in that.
But they get that kind of support, though. That's the type of, we give them the pre-sale support, post-sale support. But that's what we try to provide. Right? Yeah. And you don't win every one, but if you're persistent, you continuously offer that to your customers, then hopefully they come back if they didn't go with you the first time. So
yeah, that's cool. So what's like the turnaround time on something like that if somebody was interested?
Ooh. It depends. It can be anywhere from a 2-day process to a couple weeks. And I say a couple weeks because the larger the project, obviously, it could be rolled out in a couple phases. You really want to talk to the end user in regards to what they want, what they need, what are they looking to do at the end of the day? Because if they're looking for, we've had customers come to us because our devices are high powered. They say, oh, I just need coverage. But then we find out, well, there will be 500 users within this area. So then you have to increase the number of access points, for example. So it's really working with the end user, and within that process, obviously schedules don't always match up, and so it could go over a 2-week time frame, but it's gone as short as 2 days. It just really depends on the size of the project. So we've done anywhere from I need to install Wi-Fi into this luxury home to I need to install Wi-Fi into a large marina, for example. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. So then I saw you have like training and certifications. What's that about with EnGenius?
Yeah, so we do. We have a trainer that travels around the U.S. and he does trainings in particular regions. But it's a certification course. It's a 2-day course that they provide. The trainer goes over basically the basics of Wi-Fi. It's not EnGenius centric. It just goes over the technology, and it really gives our customer base, or eventually maybe new customers, a really good understanding, a foundation for wireless technology, networking technology, and we do that over a 2-day course. I believe it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Do you know how much that costs?
That I believe is $399 per student.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Does a certification go along with that course, or is a certification like an EnGenius certification?
That once that course is done, there's a testing period, and that's when they would be certified after that testing period. So what the training really does is it goes over the fundamentals of Wi-Fi and networking at a very granular level, and they have hands-on experience. And that's the only time really that the EnGenius product is in play, is when they get that on-hand experience. We use our products to do that on-hand experience, such they're logging into one of our access points, they're logging into one of our switches, for example. So it's been a really good course. We've actually filled the course up every time we've gone to the individual city. So it's been actually it's been doing very well.
Oh, okay. How many times a year do you teach that, do you think?
It ranges. I want to say we just really rolled this out 2016. I want to say there were about 8 trainings, but I could be correct. I could be corrected on that one. Anywhere from 20 to 30 students. We try to choose similar size venues. So it's around 20 to 30, I think, students.
That's cool. And then I see with you, so like when people buy your products, I see you have some kind of like partner program. What's the thought with that? Like, can anybody, can any like MSP become a partner, and what are the benefits there?
The managed service provider, our channel marketing person should be here. Our channel, the Elite Partner Program is, I would say for a partner program, it's fairly simple to apply for. It's they basically have to fill out an application that goes to our channel marketing manager, which I believe you met, Amanda, and she works with that that partner on sign up. But there's a couple benefits in regards to back end kind of rebates. So they get that back end rebate. They do get access to our portal where we're adding more material for more training material. So there's some online materials there that they can find within the portal itself. They do have access to our field applications engineers with any kind of questions, things like that. So there's multiple things there that they can get within the portal.
Oh, that's interesting. Is there a minimum number of a piece of equipment you have to install in a year, or do you have to pay into it?
Well, we just rolled out an NFR kit, not for resale kit, reseller kit, and that just consists of our managed line. We really want all our partners, we want them very familiar with our product line when they do an install, or when they talk to customers about our product line and how it reacts within the environment, how much coverage area and things like that. So we do ask that our partners have that kit in place. So that is one of the requirements from us.
Yeah. Do you know about how much that kit costs them?
I want to say it's right around $500. Which is actually pretty good. I believe it's a switch, an indoor and outdoor access points.
No, that's pretty good.
Or indoor and outdoor access point.
So is that how anybody would buy the equipment, or can they just buy the equipment on its own without being a partner?
They can buy that equipment by all means through our channel, but I mean, the benefit is to that particular kit is we actually discount that kit to them because we know it's a cost that they're taking on. So it's a mutual thing. So we're giving them this break on this particular kit, but at the same time, we want them to really install it, use it within their environment, that kind of thing. So, but they can find the same components through the channel, but just not the same cost.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's why I was more wondering if somebody was interested in just buying an access point or something. Can you just go to Newegg or such to buy it?
Yeah. Well, they can at a different cost. So
at a different cost. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. All right. Well, that's pretty interesting there. That's pretty interesting. So, okay. So you got the VoIP going on, you got the network, you got the surveillance cameras. Seems pretty good. So, do you have any like final thoughts? Do you have anything additional for the folks at home?
No, to go back to the value that we were just kind of talking about, I think, we kind of not brushed over it, but we do provide, I say we have the experience. We have a long, 18 years of being in the Wi-Fi industry, working from 8.0 to 11b all the way up to now Wave 2. Now we're dealing with Wave 2. And so we've worked with so many different types of customers in so many different situations. That's what I mean by the expertise that you're getting. We have employees here that have been here for a very long time, that have that experience, carry that experience, and we use that to our advantage to help our customers when they do deployments of our products and just Wi-Fi in general. So there's a lot to be said to that experience. So I just kind of want to leave with that. So.
Cool. Oh, the final question everybody always asks: are you hiring anybody at all?
Are we hiring? We're always hiring.
Yeah.
We're always looking for, yeah, we're always looking for new talent, obviously. So.
Oh, okay. Any specific positions?
Uh, Mainly, I would say probably sales, and probably field application engineers.
Oh, okay.
For the two, because there's definitely a high demand for the field application engineer side.
Yeah.
You can imagine all the requests that we get. In the smallest job, oh, I want to install Wi-Fi in my home. Well, we're not going to pull an FAE's time for that, but I mean, we do get a lot of requests for their support. So that would be one of the main roles.
So what would be the requirements? What would be you looking at there? Like, what would their experience need to be?
I would say at least 2 years experience within Wi-Fi, deploying Wi-Fi, actually deploying it, not just selling it, but actually deploying it. It would be nice if they're certified. If they're not Wi-Fi certified or CWNP certified, then we would want them to go through that particular process. So all of our field applications engineers are Wi-Fi certified. 2 of them are Wi-Fi experts. So
that's cool. That's cool. Cool. Well, thank you for being here. So if people want more information, it's EnGeniusTech.com, right?
That is right.
I got confused. I guess there's a few EnGeniuses out there. So
cool. Yeah, there are a lot actually.
Cool deal. Okay. Well, thank you for talking to us today. Stay on the line for a second, but I'll stop the video now.
Okay. All right.